Welcome everyone, namaste. Thank you for joining another session. Today we are working on the hips, and I'm adding to the work of the hips also a little bit of the lower back. When we are working hips, we are also accessing the lumbar muscles, and it's very useful. So we'll be practicing different things that will help all of that area. To start, we are going to find the cross-legged position, simple. If you want, you can always add a blanket or any pillow or something that you have at home to prop your hips. If you feel like sitting in a cross-legged position, it's challenging for you, okay? Or if you feel like your back is very rounded, always recommended to have extra help underneath. Okay, today from here, we are going to start by inhaling, sending the arms overhead. Stretch there the sides of the torso, which are also connected to your lower back. And then from there, we're going to bring the hands and the arms in front. You're going to place your palms down, and you're just going to swing a little bit, a few times, right and left. I'm going to move a little bit back so you can see perhaps my hands a little better. Okay, so we are swaying side to side, and just pay attention to which leg is in front, because we are going to switch that in a moment, okay? So we are starting to open up the hips, lateral muscles, lower back muscles. And then we slowly walk ourselves back, and we are coming back to the beginning. This time we are going to switch the leg that is in front, same thing. We inhale, we send the arms up, overhead, and we use the reach of the arms and the palms to lengthen the sides. And then with the exhale, we bring the hands down one more time, and we swing, we sway right and left, 3 to 4 times. Believe it or not, you may feel difference in the sensations between the first leg and the second leg, right? That's why we need to do both. Good. Okay, I'm finishing this little cycle, then we walk ourselves back up to a seat. Now we are going to add a little bit more to this. So if you feel like what I'm going to show next, it's a little bit too intense, you return to the cross leg position, and it's totally fine. You do the same thing, okay? This time we're going to put the hands behind. We're going to lean back a little. You can bend your elbows. Just make sure that the shoulders are moving back so we don't close in the front of the chest, okay? And we're going to lift the legs in what we call a boat pose. So I'm supporting myself with my hands, but we are extending the legs. Belly button moves into the spine. Take one inhalation here. And with the exhale, instead of crossing the legs, see if you can take the right shin on top of the left one. This may be a little bit more challenging, like I said, so you can switch it up and just do the cross leg position. This is a big hip opener, okay? This time we are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. And with the exhale, we're going to put the right hand to the side and extend the left side over. One full breath here. See if you can breathe through your nose. Then we push through the right hand so we can come back to center, and we are going to repeat going into the second side. So I'm leaning back, I'm extending both legs. It looks like what we call a boat pose. Inhaling here. And with the exhale, this time I'm switching left shin over the right one. So it looks like I have both shins, right? One on top of the other. Again, this is not an easy shape, but we are not staying for too long. So don't worry if it doesn't look exactly like this. It may look more like this. That's normal because the hips are tight usually, okay? From here, we inhale again. And with the exhale, left hand to the left, right arm over the head. And we try and turn the chest a little bit up to feel that stretch in the right side. We push, we come back. Beautiful. We go again with a little different form, okay? So again, hands behind. Again, extend both legs. Take one breath. Exhale, right shin on top of the left one like we did before. Inhaling, arms up one more time. And this time with the exhale, we're going to bring the finger pads in front of us, a little bit like we did in the beginning. And we are going to try, you can see that I'm not folding all the way. That's a little too intense for the hips. So I'm staying halfway. And again, I'm going to try to sway side to side a few times. If you feel like there is a lot of pulling in the hips while you do this, then you can stay centered without moving so much, okay? Last time, we go back with the hands, we support ourselves, we extend the legs, one inhalation, Exhaling, left shin over the right one, second and last side. We inhale, arms up. And we exhale, finger pads in front, and we do this second side. If this feels like it's already too much, you stay here. If you want to sway side to side, notice the sensation in the lower back, right and left sides in your hips. Good, last one. And we walk ourselves back. This time we are going to undo this seat. We shake a little bit through the legs and we switch this shape into a tabletop position. In the tabletop position, we always want to have the shoulders above the wrists, the hips over the knees. And we're going to do 2 big circles one way with the hips as I'm showing, bringing them forward, side and back. And then we are going to reverse it for 2. If you can go all the way to your heels, you go, right? If you cannot, of course, you do the circle, the size that you can and it your body allows for, okay? Good, we are coming back to a tabletop position, and then from there, we are going to inhale and arch, lengthening the front of the spine, opening the chest. And exhaling, we drop the tailbone, we bring the belly button up, we drop the head. Again, we inhale, we exhale. Last one, inhaling and releasing all the way to empty. We come back to the tabletop, and now we are going to change what we are doing. So my body is in a neutral position. That means that I'm not arched and I'm not rounded, right? You can see it in the camera. And from there, what I'm going to do first is to tuck the toes. So we tuck the toes, and with the hands, if you want, you can dial the finger pads a little bit out to the sides. And then we're going to let the hips come forward a little. Then you're going to untuck your toes and let the pelvis kind of like come down towards the mat. I hope you can see it there in my body. So my pelvis is not totally touching, but my knees are touching down, right? Once I'm there, I'm trying to open the chest and we wiggle the hips side to side. So again, what we are doing here is working the lower back and the hips just a couple of times. Then from there, we tuck the toes again to come back to the tabletop. And from here, we're going to take it up into downward facing dog. This first downward facing dog, we use it as always to stretch the spine. We bend the knees one at a time. We feel the opening in the backs of the legs. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going slowly, like pressing one heel firmly down and then the other. Dropping the head, making sure that you're toning your arms and pushing down through the pinky side of the hands. Feel that opening in the chest. There's a little bit of an arch, right, that I'm doing there. The goal always here is to send those sitting bones as high up as you can. And then after you have that, you try and bring the front ribs in, dropping the head. Okay, we are working the hips, right? So from here, what we are going to do is to bend the left knee and bring the right heel in and put the whole right foot down. My right foot is in a diagonal and we are pressing that whole foot into the floor. That's already giving you a stretch in your hamstring, perhaps, outer hip or lower back as well. And with that, what we are going to do is to keep the left knee bent and just twist a little bit the chest towards the right. That's it. Now in this shape, the sensation should be that your right hip is higher than the left one, okay? So then we are giving a stretch there. One full breath. Good, then we are coming back and switching. So we are going to bend the right knee, turn the left heel in and down. Make sure that left foot is in a diagonal with the toes pointing out and that the whole foot is pressing onto the mat, right? This is again like a down dog. We are pushing through the arms. And what we are doing here is turning the chest a little bit to the left and making sure we can feel that that left hip is a little higher than the right one. Breathing here again. Good, then we come back. We return to more of a neutral down dog. We are going to bend both knees deeply Lift your navel, look forward, and then start walking towards the top of the mat. And with feet hip distance apart, we're going to bend the knees and let the torso or the belly touch the thighs perhaps. And then from there, we fold the neck and the head. We are letting them be heavy as we breathe. Okay, if the hands are not touching down, you always want to pad the hands with something. Blocks, books, boxes, anything that you have at home, okay? Taking another breath. Then pressing through the heels, we inhale, we reach all the way up. And with the exhale, we bring the hands into the heart center. We take a moment here to feel the ground underneath the feet and feel steady. And then we release. Beautiful. We are going to do a nice, just tiny sequence here that will help with opening the front of the hips mainly. We inhale, we send the arms up overhead. We exhale to a forward fold. Inhaling, we come halfway, an opportunity to expand the chest. And with the exhale, we're going to send the left leg back into a lunging position. When we get into that lunging position, we firm the hips, meaning that we are squeezing them into the midline. And I want you to look down and look at your left knee. And as you look at the left knee, see if you can bring it heavy down towards your mat or the floor, like I'm doing. And you pause, I'm going to say, like one hair above your mat. So it's almost like if you had a piece of paper there in between your knee and the floor, and that's the only distance in between, okay? So the knee is super low. Then firm the hips and see if you can lift your trunk with that knee really low. So we are giving a big stretch into that left hip flexor. Inhale there. Then exhale, touch down with the hands and go to down dog. Then we're going to inhale, come to plank. With the exhale, we bring the knees down and tuck the toes. And we do the same movement we did before. We let the pelvis come down. We are going to tuck the tailbone in and firm the bottom of your body. And then again, we wiggle a little bit side to side. Good. Take one inhalation, lifting the sternum. And with the exhale, tuck the toes and go up to down dog. Good. From here to finish this sequence, feet together. Inhale, send your right leg up. Exhale, bend your right knee, opening the hips towards the left. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. Exhale, right foot forward. And we are here again in the lunge like we did before. Let's see if we can do this again. Bring the left knee down, heavy, 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 almost touching your mat or the floor. Like if there's a paper there, we inhale, we lengthen. And with the exhale, we touch down, we bring the left foot to the top and we fold. Pressing through the heels, we inhale, we reach up. And with the exhale, we come into that center again that helps us slow down for a moment, check in with the breath before we start the second side. Beautiful. You got the idea of what we are doing. Now we go in the second side, okay? Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to that fold. Inhaling, lengthening the sides. Heart opens. Exhaling, this time we send the right leg back. We are coming to the lunge. We firm the hips. We look at the right knee and we bring it heavy down, almost to touch the mat, okay? Once you're there, firming the hips again and toning the abdomen, we come up, inhale, exhale, down dog. Beautiful. From down dog, we come into plank. We exhale, knees down and tucking the toes. We let the hips come down like we've been doing already. Wiggle the hips side to side a few times. Then tuck the toes. We go back to down dog. Then from here, we inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend the left knee, opening the hips to the right. Try and keep the shoulders steady. Inhaling, left leg goes up again. Exhaling, left foot forward. One more time, we are bringing that right knee almost to touch the floor. And when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, right foot comes forward. We take a fold. Pressing through the heels. Keep the knees soft. We return to the top. And we rest. Then we slowly release and we shake it a little. Okay, I'm changing my position so you can see me better. For this next shape, I'm going to recommend to have blocks or something that can be helpful for balancing in case you need it. Okay, I'm just putting them there to show you that it's a possibility to use, and I'm going to show how to use them when needed. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here is to have the feet hip distance apart. Press through the heels and the outer edges of your feet. We inhale, we send the arms up overhead. And with the exhale, we're going to take what we call the chair shape. So what I'm doing is to send my sitting bones heavy, back and down. We are flexing at the hip, hinging at the hips, right? And sending those hip creases back and lifting the belly. Good, then from there, you can choose if you want to bring your hands to the heart center or hands to the hips, your choice. We are going to lean into the left foot, lift the right knee and put the right foot on top of the left thigh. My shape is like a number 4 and the right foot is flexed. That means that it's active, okay? And then I'm going to come back to my chair shape. Blocks here can be very helpful. Like I said before, you can use them to grab and feel more steady. Some of us, depending on hip opening abilities, you may want to check perhaps that you can touch the floor, then you can hold the floor instead, right? But sometimes this one is a little more challenging for the hips, and if you don't have long arms, it's challenging to do. So either that or the blocks or the hands, whatever you choose, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, then we come up. We put the right foot down, release the arms. We take one inhalation to send the arms up. Exhale, just coming back to standing before we switch. Beautiful. Now we go into the second side, okay? So again, we inhale, arms up. We exhale, we take Utkatasana, we call it the chair shape. I'm just going to show you sideways so you see how it looks. I'm pushing the sitting bones back. So instead of bringing the knees forward, I'm trying to push them back, you see? And I'm trying to make the tailbone heavy and lift the belly. Good. Then from there, again, you choose hands to the heart or to the hips, or you use your blocks. We are going to lean into the right foot so we can lift the left knee, put the left foot on top of the right thigh, left foot is flexed, and then we sit back down again. Taking a few breaths. This is another big hip opener. Good, then we inhale coming up. We put that left foot down. And to close the sequence, we inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling, back to standing. And we release. Beautiful, again, we shake it a little. Nice. And now from here, I'm going to take on to a different sequence. You can always keep the blocks close by, okay? I'm going to change sides so you can see it. We go from here, we inhale, arms up. We exhale, we fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale and go into downward facing dog. So we are taking that inverted V shape. We push the hips up and back. Then we bring the feet together, heels high. Inhaling, right leg. Exhaling, right foot forward in between the hands. From there, what we're going to do is to bring the back foot a little closer, turn the heel in and down, and then press through the front heel so you can straighten the front leg as well. So both legs, they look like when I want to do a triangle shape, they are both straight, but straight doesn't mean that we are locking the knees. It means that we are using the muscles, okay? So hug the muscles into your bones, push the left heel down, firm the right hip back. Imagine that right hip wants to be tucked into your body. Then lengthen the spine. And then if you can, you exhale, bending the elbows, you release the trunk. Now, this is a very good place where to use the blocks. I left them on the other side, but that was a mistake because I wanted to show you. This is a really good way to support this shape because it's a big hip opener again and lower back. So I'm tucking that right hip in, pressing through both heels and feet, pressing also into the balls of your feet. And then you can use any height of your blocks or the support that you have to lengthen the spine and keep working that right hip tucking in, okay? Nice. Okay, let's bend the front knee, put those blocks out and go back to down dog. Nice, I'm going to take on the second side. Left leg goes up. Left foot comes forward in between the hands. We're going to look at that back foot, bring it a little closer, turn the heel in and down, and then you press through the front heel to come into a straight leg. You can see how I already took my blocks. We are firming now the left hip in, tucking it into your body, make the leg super strong. If you're using the blocks, most beneficial is to have them more or less under the shoulders. Then you lengthen the spine. The heart is leading, so the sternum is moving forward, opening the shoulders back. And then again, tuck your left hip, take another breath. And then if you have the range, you can bend the elbows and lengthen the spine over that front leg. Good. Then we slowly bend the front knee. We return those blocks where they were, and we go back to down dog. Then we are going to come into a plank. And for one more time, we bring the knees down and tuck the toes, let the pelvis come down, and wiggle a little bit here. Good. This time from here, we bend the elbows, we come all the way down. We are close to the floor. We are going to inhale into a cobra. Exhale and release. And from here, we're going to push, opening the knees to the sides and taking a child's pose for a little rest. Drop the hips, soften the head. You can always add blankets and pillows or anything from home or from the office where you are to use as a prop. Get creative. One more breath in place. And then we slowly press with the hands so we can come up to a seat. I'm going to change the seat now. I'm going to change also the position so you can see me. We are going to cross the right leg over the left one as much as you can. And from here, another hip opener. So the hips are tight into the midline. And if you can, you cross that leg like I'm showing the right one over as much as you can together or close to the left one. If that's not possible, you do it more like a cross leg position and it's fun, okay? We are going to inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Keep the spine tall. And then bring your left arm outside the right leg with the palm facing out, and the right hand will be a support behind you for a twist. Reaching up through the crown of the head, you can turn the chin over to the right. If that doesn't feel good in your neck, you can stay in the neutral position. Then we slowly come back to the center, and you can use your hands like we did in the very beginning of the session. You can re-extend both legs and then switch left leg over the right one. And when you find the seat, you try and bring those legs together. I forgot to say, sometimes when we sit in this shape, the body feels like falling over to one side. It's sometimes challenging to stay more steady or level. If that happens, you bring a blanket and you pad your body with a blanket underneath the side that you're falling over to. So that will level your base and make you feel like you're not falling, okay? So we are seated tall here. We inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands coming back towards the center. Keep the spine tall, relax the shoulders. And then we bring right arm to the left with the palm facing out, left arm behind, touching the floor. We are creating a twist, a rotation. We lift the spine, we turn the chest and maybe the head as well. Then we are slowly returning to the center. We re-extend the legs for a moment. We wiggle those. And then we are going to take on a supine position. So we come onto our backs, hug both knees into the chest and do a few circles with the knees, one way and the other. Good. Then we are going to keep the left knee with us and we're going to extend the right leg. Hug that knee in. We are stretching the right hip flexor here and flexing the other side. Push through your right heel. And then use your right hand to bring the left knee over to the right. Any amount that you can go is good. If you can go halfway, that's fine. If you bring the knee a little closer to the floor, that's fine as well. Try and send the left arm overhead, and maybe you turn the head to the left. Then we return back to center, hug that left knee in, and release, extend the left leg. Now we're going to stretch that left side, pushing through the heel. We bring the right knee in. And with the left hand, we are twisting, bringing that right side over. We are stretching also the hips in the sides, right? So you bring that knee, any amount, any level that goes for you, right arm over the head, maybe turning the head to the right. Then we find our way back. One more time, we are hugging both knees in, and we are taking the feet for happy baby pose. This time with the hands, we are pushing into the feet. The feet are pushing up towards the ceiling, and we are trying to bring those knees down to settle the lower back into the floor. If you like to swing a little bit here, you can do that. And then for the remainder of the practice, we're going to bring the feet down, soles of the feet together with the knees dropping to the sides. You can always add pillows underneath if you need or if it feels better. And then hands resting on your abdomen, relax the elbows, the shoulders and the chest. Take a few breaths. Follow the pathway of your breath in through your nose, long, fluid, steady. And then the exhale, same way, through the nose, long and steady. Try and make that an equal inhale to the exhale. One more. And then keeping a face that feels soft, eyes kind. We invite the hands to help the legs come back together, putting the feet on the floor. You can extend one arm overhead to roll onto the side. Don't rush it. Then use your hands, your arms to come back up towards the feet. And we are officially closing this session in hips and lower back today. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste, everyone. Hope to see you next time around.